Yeah.
I didn't have a relationship with myself. Well,
Mm.
I had a negative relationship with myself.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was real busy for a long time being very
Mm.
critical and
Mm-hmm.
judgmental
Mm.
and
Mm.
angry, and I
Mm.
would even yell at myself. I would even hit myself.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
there's
Mm-hmm.
a story. I don't know if I've ever shared this one on the podcast. So in high school, my hair is difficult. My hair is
Right.
extremely difficult, and it was
Mm-hmm.
shorter and it was more difficult, and I would fight with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a resin brush. The brush
Mm.
handle was made out of resin,
Mm-hmm.
and my hair would not work with me. And I
Mm.
would take that brush and I would hit myself on the head
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And back then it seemed normal.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about it now, I know exactly where that came from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it
Mm-hmm.
came from my mom, who used to get mad
Mm.
if I got any knots in my hair, and she would hit me with a
Right.
brush. But
Right.
I didn't even have that compassion there. It's like it's just
Yeah.
hair. It's just hair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not me.
Self-correction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Self-correction is, like you're using anger as self-correction because you've not been taught compassion. And,
right.
like you speak to that anger and that anger will tell you, like, I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm
Yeah,
trying because that's what's been wired into the nervous system that we self-correct by being angry,
right. And
right?
critical.
So, and critical, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you speak to your self-critic, I've spoken to so many self-critics, like so many clients critics, and the underlying function and the underlying job they do is they're protecting. They're trying to not
Yeah,
let people get hurt. And my clients are so surprised. How can he be protecting me? He's ruining my life. He's doing this. He's doing that. When you listen to the critic will tell you, take you to the origin story. Like I showed up when this was happening. I showed up to make sure that she never messes up. I showed up to make sure that she always got things right. Because if she didn't get things right, she was going to get punished for it. I showed up to make, and critic tell that story that they have showed up for you to make sure you survived.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Even though it was
And
off, it wasn't
yeah,
necessarily the right thing
yeah.
at the
It
moment, but
wasn't.
they showed up.
They showed up, yeah, and it may have helped, like, because they would have gotten, like, yeah. So when I showed up, and if you sort of hurt yourself, you won't hurt anymore when other people hurt you. Like if you criticize, if you're mean to yourself, and then when other people are mean to you, and it feels real, it feels like, yeah, at that time
Mm-hmm.
that's helpful, but it doesn't. And you are right, compassion is definitely, we can't learn compassion. We're not born with being able to be self-compassionate for ourselves. It has to be scaffolded. It's like thousands and thousands of moments of being nurtured in order for us to be able to create that self-to-self flow channel of compassion. Is it possible? Absolutely, yes. For every human being. But if you haven't had those stimulation, from your early life, it feels like such an impossible work. You would even convince
Mm-hmm.
yourself that compassion is not for me. We have fears to it. Like our nervous system has built defense mechanism against compassion.
Oh.
And yeah, like because if I'm compassionate, compassion is for the weak. If I'm compassionate, I'm
As
gonna
you say,
get
you're
hurt.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
You're vulnerable. Mm-hmm.
absolutely, absolutely. Because compassion is sensitivity. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's about being sensitive to suffering, to our suffering, and committing to action. Right. So it takes us
Mm.
into. You have to go into a place of vulnerability. Vulnerability is scary. Vulnerability
Yeah.
is a not must do when it comes to having experienced so much deep pain. And so compassion is a skill, I say. You can learn it. So don't worry, like if you feel like, oh, it's not coming naturally to you, yeah, there's a reason why it's not coming
Mm-hmm.
naturally to you. Like, look at you looking after other people. Oftentimes people who can't give themselves compassion are so compassionate to other people. So you have it within you. You can
Yeah.
give it to other people. It's just not being tuned in to yourself, and you can learn that. So compassion is definitely at the heart, is the driving force for healing, and healing is a lifelong journey, and compassion is just that vehicle that takes us
Yes.
there. So
From moment
even
to
though
moment. Yeah.
from moment to moment, like
Yeah.
compassion is a huge one. Getting us like that healing and the transformation that we need. And even the act of like listening to your emotion is so compassionate. It's you being
Yeah.
sensitive to wanting to understand yourself. That is compassion. So, when you start to identify your emotion, label your emotion, build that connection, that is an act of compassion for yourself.
Mm-hmm.